Assalamu alaikum, lovies. This is Mariam Alima with another episode of What Do You Know About Islam? And on this episode, I wanted to delve into a very great. Oh, well, first, let's point out the camera in the back. Camera in the back. I was going to use that camera, but couldn't use that camera because, and the HD quality on that camera is superb, but, superb to comparison of my computer. But anyhow, the SD card was like, it doesn't have enough motion pic. I don't know. I'm not tech savvy. Anyhow, back to what this episode is going to be about. So recently in a study group class at Muhammad Mosque number 15, we're going over our beautiful study guide that was given to us by the Most Honorable Louis Farrakhan. And in this study guide, we were going over certain terms within the glossary. And one of the terms really hit home for me. And it shed light on how I have reacted in past relationships. And I want to read the term. It was so profound. The term is, let me preface this first. I am a pretty confident young gal. I would say that I know that I am on the more attractive spectrum of continents, pulchritude or what may have you. Subhanallah for that, alhamdulillah. And I know that I'm smart. Like I have pretty good self-esteem, or so I thought. And I say that because after reading the definition of inferiority complex, I realized that maybe more times than not in certain relationships, or I'm going to say it's more so for me in relationships and relationships of the heart. Our relationships of the heart. I'm more so mean with the opposite sex, boyfriend, girlfriend relationships. This is a prior life. Anyhow, I'm going to read the psychiatry definition of inferiority complex. Intense feeling of inferiority, producing a personality characterized either by extreme reticence or as a result of overcompensation, by extreme aggressiveness, lack of self-esteem, feeling of inadequacy, lack of self-confidence. First, let me make sure I said extreme. It is reticence. Yeah, reticence. And reticence is basically shyness, extreme, going inward rather than, so the differences between an introvert and an extrovert. I'm definitely an extrovert. So reticence is just that, extreme shyness or what may have you. What made me relate to this definition so much was the part where it says, as a result of having an inferiority complex, you overcompensate by extreme aggressiveness. And it is so, that just slapped me in my face. I was like, wow, that really, really, really hit home. And I'll say that was because, so friends that have known me for 10 plus years or what may have you, whenever I would get into a new relationship, they know that I'm a swell gal. They know that you're the cream of the crop. But I've had friends tell me like, hey, Mariam, all right, he seems like a really good guy. I really want you to, take your time and not be so aggressive. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking? And I was genuinely baffled, dumbfounded, and confused. I know this is repetition or whatever, but I really wasn't sure. I was like, what do you mean? And I love hard. I love fast and I love hard. And it's genuine, like, it's genuine love. But I can see how I became aggressive because I was trying to force that reciprocation from them. It's like, gosh, I have all of these intense feelings. I want them to feel the same way for me, and I want to be sure of that. Like, I want to be sure that this person is in love with me as much as I'm in love with them. So with me being so unsure of that me feeling inferior or that self-doubt, I would become overly aggressive, to where, I've had an ex tell me that, like, let's just take it a little slow and, let things happen naturally. And I didn't necessarily even take that well, because I was still confused by that. Because for me, it was natural for me. The pace that I was going was natural, even though it may have been fast paced in whoever else's view. But for me, like, if I'm feeling these feelings and these feelings are real, then how is it not natural? Like, how is it that me professing these feelings, how then is that not natural? That I don't necessarily have an answer to. But I do know it is best to go a lot slower and to really get to know someone for who they really are and not who they deliver to you on face value. Because the same person that said that to me, I'm so dramatic, because, oh my gosh, like, I am a thespian, I am an actress, but they also made a statement of, oh gosh, and this was like one of the, I'm sure any other actors out there, I don't know how they take this comment, but from someone that you have deep feelings for, when they say this to you, well, how do I know you're not acting with me? Like, that is the worst thing for me, because, or it has been in the past, inshallah, with my spiritual growth and, becoming more in tune with myself, I'll be able to just let that go on by the wayside. But that was such a cut, stab in the heart, because it was like, oh my God, you can't see me. Like, you don't see me. You don't see my soul, that I'm being genuine, that, like, everything, like, yeah, it may be a lot. It may be over the top. Like, I'm extremely animated. I'm on the other side of the spectrum when it comes to expressing oneself. And again, that goes back into, it's genuine. It's a genuine thing. But it could be because of the fact that I feel that person may not believe me. Like, I need you to feel everything that I'm feeling. So yeah, I'm a little bit more intense. And so, when that person said that, I felt, I literally fell to the ground. I was like, oh, they're never gonna believe anything I say. Woe is me. It was a whole scene, but it was a genuine scene. Granted, it was a scene. It was like had there been cameras, people were like, this girl is putting on for these cameras. There were no cameras. It was just me and this person. But it hurt my heart. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. And so it just debilitated me. And I was like, my God, if you have to question my genuineness, then where do we go from here? That went a little over there, but anyhow, just the profoundness of the extreme aggressiveness really hit home. And so knowing that, I know to never act in that way going forth, dealing with any relationship, because the more you press something, the more that person is going to run away. Like, nobody likes feeling closed in or encompassed by someone, especially if they're just trying to go with the flow. Yeah, I'll definitely. I also want to read the opposition to inferiority complex, which is, of course, superiority complex. And the psychiatry definition for that is exaggerated feeling of being better than or above others, not yielding or susceptible, showing a consciousness of being above the average in place, position, excellence, merit, intelligence, station, rank, degree, etc. Often the mark of an overly assertive personality. I don't have a superiority complex. I can tell you that now. Not to say that it's you know what's funny? Is one better than the other? Like, they both are debilitating. It doesn't progress you further healthily as a healthy individual. To feel inferior is so, it's such a debilitating state to be in, to where you can retreat into oneself or be, crazy outbursts and can do even more harm. And then the superiority complex of being, haughty, higher than most. You're not gonna have no friends. No one's gonna want to be around that. Definitely. And that's just shaitan anyhow. That's just a major sin. There is no one that's above anyone for any particular reason. You may carry yourself in a more moral stature, and you may practice more morality, but it does not make you superior. That is a the righteous have and the true righteous know that line. They know that humility. Did a whole thing on humility. Humility is one of the most important facets in life, key personality traits to possess, because the more you grow and the more you learn, the more accolades or anything, more recognition you get, the more you possess, the more it can make you feel as if you are superior. Like, look what I've done. Look, do you not see my track record? Look at all that I've accomplished. Great. I'm glad that you accomplished all that. May God bless you. That doesn't make you, it means that you've accomplished more. Did the person that's, gosh darn, I learned the term the other day. It's a term for people that just give, and give. It's AU something. Let me not try to wing it. I can't remember what it is. But I'm gonna try to look it up. But does that make you better than the person that gives and gives freely? I'm gonna say I know. I'm gonna say that everyone knows that that's not the case. An archery. I really want to know the term, only because I feel like it's the same term that a sister was trying to think of when we were in class, because something about giving, doing zakat came up, and she was looking for a term. I can't think what it is, but it's an A term. I'm gonna anyhow. But yeah, I definitely wanted to touch on that, and I just thought that was so profound. Especially, I had perception on my mind for the last couple of weeks or so, and I was thinking about how individuals, and this, I don't want this to come off as if I'm trying to throw anyone under the bus or anything like that. But anyhow, as sisters, women of modesty, we know that we cover ourselves, and it's about perception. Now, men of the same, mind, aptitude, who are on the same level, who are, I'll say saved. Christians say saved. Those who have given their lives to Allah and are walking that line of a Muslim, then they too, I feel like that they should represent themselves in a way that wouldn't be perceived as lacking, just how women have to cover up. Men, I feel that men should have to cover up too. Like, I don't want to see chest out on Instagram. I don't want to, you know, if you're working out, cool, but you can work out with a shirt on, you know. I definitely don't want to see men with just loose little shorts on. Like, that's not it. That's not modest. That's not respectable to me. It's like, why do you think, like, it's about perception. Why do you think that that's going to be perceived as something that should be done like that? I don't know. But another thing on that other end of that, I have been trying to figure out if I wanted to still go out and socialize in club settings. And when I say socialize, say like if I'm with family members and, you know, it's their birthday and they want to go out to the club. Okay, cool. I know I don't smoke or drink or anything, but I do listen to music, and I like to, they still be playing that Jeezy. And that's, you know, I gets down with the gets down. But I recently went out. Well, you know, I recently went out twice. I went out a few weeks ago with my cousins while we were having a family reunion. And I have my own style. I've always been a girl of her own way and my own fashions. And my cousins were like, what, Mariam, what is this? No, even before I started covering it. So it's so easy to, when, if you're not covering your body, as a small person, it was easy for me to put on just like a little dress and some shoes and be straight, because it was more so accentuating my figure. Now, when it comes to coordinating things that maybe, you know, that are covered and please, you know, I have my own sense of fashion. And sometimes it's a little quirky. It's a little country. It's a little quirky. It's a little bit of Mariam. It's just a little bit of me. And so my cousin was like, girl, what is this? And I said, well, why are you going out if, you know, the outfits that I had weren't all the way how I would have done them had I had everything that I wanted. But I still wanted to go out because I want to show people that, like, yeah, you can go, like, you can socialize. It's not that you cannot go out. You can do what you want to do. You're free. You're not in captivity. No one has like, oh, you've written your savior's letter. You're going to get in trouble if you're spotted at someplace. I'm like, what? That is, it hasn't been told that way to me. And I don't believe that to be true. So I proceeded to put my outfit together how I was like, okay, this is cute or whatever. But my cousin was like, well, you know, it's about perception. So why are you going to these establishments knowing you don't drink or anything and knowing you are MGT? Technically, I'm not registered yet. But anyway, I was born an MGT. So I am one, and that's why she said what she said. But anyway, she said, you're MGT, and it's all about perception. And I was like, well, I know who I am, and I know what I know I'm not going to be in there with nothing in my hand. I'm going to have me a glass of water or a water bottle, and, you know, I came to come be with my family and gym or whatever. And so I went out that night and did just that. I didn't stay out super duper late. And I didn't go to all of the places that they went to, because some places I didn't want to go to. And that was the Gentleman's Club. And I was like, you know, although I used to work there for many a year, I don't want to any longer promote that, because I do want those sisters, those beautiful women, to come out of that mindset. Now, one of my aims when I do go out is to try to speak the word to somebody. So it's like, you know, they said Jesus went out in the highways and the byways. And I mean, I know I'm not about to be drinking and smoking. I know I'm not about to be tooting it up on nobody. So, you know, going out to talk to the people, which I have done, and successfully, not at a club per se. It was more so at it wasn't even in a lounge. I went out to an event. Well, see, the difference between that is I went to an event for music, for an artist showcase, and then we went out after that, and we got on the topic of faith, and I started giving the teachings, and that was awesome. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I get to go hang out and listen to music and vibe and network and meet new artists and talk about Allah. Oh, winning. And so from riding from that high from that event, I then decided I was going to take that to everywhere. Like, oh yeah, I can do this. But honestly, when I went out a few days ago with my cousins for one of my cousins' birthday, I realized I don't like the club. It's smoky. It's extremely smoky. And you actually can't talk to anyone in the club about anything because it's so loud. I mentioned, one of their friends did ask, oh, you don't drink? I was like, no, honey, I'm saved, girl. I gave my life to God. And she was like, ooh, yeah, that's good. So that's about the extent of God that I was able to talk about. And that was before it got extremely packed and loud. And I realized, I was like, you know what? I get the perception thing. Although, I mean, I'm not up in here doing anything egregious or what may have you, but I'm like, what am I really getting out of this? It wasn't even for perception anymore for me. I let the perception go because, again, I'm standing firm on I want to get with the people. But within that instance, I realized I can't actually have a conversation with anyone about anything inside of a club because of the atmosphere that it is, the loudness of it. And then also my throat was irritated. So I was like, okay, so I think the club is done. Lounges for whatever, if I'm going out with family or it's a networking event, I'm fine with networking because of the industry that I am in. So that's for perception for myself. Now, for those people, there may be people that be like, oh, that's not a good look. That may be true. And maybe this is how these brothers feel that post pictures of themselves scantily clad. But, there's work to be done. And I love you still. And maybe I may feel totally different about my stance on going to lounges or what may have you, because the messenger did say, don't let your women go out to these lounges with these white people because ain't nothing good out there. I don't go out with white folks. I mean, I'm with black people. But still, yet, it may not be the best atmosphere in the near future, which, you do have to be extremely cautious and always, general order number 1. So always be on the alert. But, only time will tell on how I feel about what networking events I'll go to, where they are, and what may have you. But anyhow, that's all I wanted to say on perception, the superiority complex, and inferiority complex. Inferiority, superiority, is one better than the other? I don't think so. I think they're both detrimental. Fix yourselves, guys. Don't have any complexes. Have a God. Ooh, no, God, no, not a God complex. A God complex is the superior complex. Bah! Just have a good attitude, because your attitude denotes your altitude. So live like that. And I pray that everyone is blessed. And until the next time, peace.